Hello, this is Christy from Graphicious. In today's video for Camtasia, I have a treat for you. I'm going to show you how to create customizable timers, counters, countdown timers, and all of these are going to be dynamic and they're going to be customizable to the font, the size, the color, everything you want on directly in Camtasia. I'm not going to tell you to go and record online counters and then use like the green screen removal color to make them transparent, and every time you need to count something you need to record a different counter. This is going to be completely native to Camtasia. So we're going to use a feature that's not exposed to normal users in Camtasia yet. I'm hoping they'll bring it, TechSmith is going to bring it to the new versions of Camtasia in the future, but this feature is still there. So this is what we're going to use to create a bunch of assets that are customizable with all the timers and counters you could want. You can have counters that use the current frame, the current minute, second, the countdown timers for the current clip, or global timeline counters. So let's start. And let's see, for example, all these counters you see on the screen right now, they are made using this method. So you can see that you have all the possibilities in here. You just create these, you put them in a library, and then you reuse them anytime you like. So let's start. There are two ways to start this, and this is the first step you need to do. You can choose which way to do it, and you're just going to have to do it once, and then you get this asset that you can then reuse and customize to create these counters. So one way, the first method, it's the easiest. You can go to Camtasia's website, and they have an asset you can download. I'm going to put the link in my description so you can go straight to this page right here. So this is a free asset you can download. It's part of TechSmith assets for Camtasia. They have a lot of paid ones in there, but this one is free. So you can see this one here. This is called a countdown wheel. This is a free one. You can download it. Click on here to download file, or the other one, count up wheel. They're kind of the same. They just use a different kind of counter. And you can see this progress bar kind of thing spinny. You don't have to worry about that. That is just an illustration part of this asset. We will take that away. We don't need to use that. All we need is the little text field inside. So to show you how this works, so you go to this link. Again, it's in the description. Download this asset here. It's called countdown wheel. You may have to log into the account to get it, but it is completely free. So click that to download it. And once you've downloaded it, you just click on it to open it in Camtasia. It's going to open Camtasia if you have it 2021. So just to say, this method should work in Camtasia 2020, and I think previous versions too, but the way we're going to customize it, and especially the second method, that's not going to work in previous versions, just in 2021. But this one here that I'm showing you should work in 2020 as well. So you can see here I clicked on it, and Camtasia is asking me what I want to do with this asset. Do you want to load it to my existing library? So I have a library here created called counters. I'm going to import it to this library. If you don't have a library like this, you can create a new one. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to click import now. And there you have it. It's the countdown wheel. I have a blank new project here, so I'm going to drag this to the project to see what happens. So I've placed this on my canvas right here, and if I play it, you can see it's counting down from 10. Okay, so this is the first step. We have our base asset in here. Actually, this asset is really a group that has this animation here and an annotation with a text on it. If we open this group, we notice that it has that animation, which I'm gonna delete right now. And all I care about is this text annotation right here that has the number 1 in it. If I move it back, you notice the number is changing. And this is the key to the whole thing. This field, this text, this is a simple annotation. If I want to change the font here, you know, I can switch the font to something else. I don't know, I'm going to use a different font. That changes the font. It doesn't change the functionality. So if you are in Camtasia 2021 and you go out of this group and you click on it, you can see it right here, but look in the right side under properties. This field here is a quick property. This is exposed because this asset, this group in Camtasia 2021 has all this customizable text field, which I'm going to cover in other videos, as well as how to create reusable assets. But this field is the trick for the whole counter. And you notice this %R, S, capital R, S. So this is what makes the counter work. And another thing that makes the counter work is this particular time asset has a little flag that you can't see. It's actually just in the file when you import it. It's a little flag, it's a modifier that tells Camtasia to replace whatever it finds in the text, the syntax it needs for these variables, to replace those with the internal counter. So Camtasia has an internal time token. That's what it's called. It's a counter. It's an internal counter that measures, every frame you're on, the time, the second, the minute, the hour you are on the timeline. And for every asset on the timeline, it measures the current frame, the time, and the time it has left. All these things. This is an internal counter for Camtasia. It's used to show you here the current minute and second you're on, and the frame number. Everything is depending on this time token. Well, this time token is not exposed to users right now. And when Camtasia created, TechSmith created these assets, these dynamic timer assets, they have added a little flag in the source code for these assets. So you can't really get to them unless you know where to look and what to change. But once you buy this, or you get this free one, this free asset with the counter field, then you can replace the text here to do different things. So again, this is something that's not documented in the Camtasia help pages. I have a list of all the parameters you can use in here to create all of the timers you would like. So this is what I'm going to cover in this video today. Now, this is the first method. So we have this asset. This is the easiest way. You download it from the link that I gave you and you install it in your Camtasia, and then you can change this field to different variables I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, I want to show you the second way. If you don't want to download this asset from the Camtasia website, you can create your own. And this is what I'm going to demonstrate, this little modifier thing that we need to add. So I'm going to delete this now from the timeline and create a new project. I'm going to save this one. So just to illustrate, this is the second way to get started. You don't have to do this every time. You just do it once. You create one little asset, and then you add it to your library with all the different timers you like, and then you can reuse those without ever doing this again. But I want to demonstrate how it works. So I have a blank project here, and I'm just going to go to annotations. It doesn't matter which annotations you use as long as they have text on them, right? I'm just going to use this basic call out text. Just put it in the center. You notice it has the text A, B, C on it. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to customize any fonts or sizes or anything. You can do that later. I'm just going to save this project right now with just this single asset on it. And I'm going to show you what you need to modify to make it dynamic. Because look, if you can't really change the text on it now unless you double click, or if you group it with itself. So I'm going to group it with itself. In Camtasia 2021, this brings up this text field here. So it basically creates a quick property asset. You can type in any text in this text box here, like hello, and the text changes without double clicking on the asset like in previous versions. But if I want to type that dynamic variable thing that I showed you before, and it was this, it was %sign parentheses R S. Okay, so this was the syntax. If I press enter on this, it doesn't do anything. It just shows my text because it's missing that modifier I told you about, right? So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to save this project. And now, after I saved my project to disk, sample project 3, I'm going to leave Camtasia and leave it open. You can leave it open, it's fine. And I'm going to open that project file in Notepad. You can use Notepad. I'm using Notepad++. So I have Notepad++ here, so I can bring that project in here because every Camtasia project is really just a JSON file with instructions and, you know, the layout and the timelines and the clips on it and the text on those and everything else, except the media files, which are actually videos and pictures, and they are on disk. But the actual project file is nothing more than a JSON file, which is a kind of a formatted instruction meta file, right? So I'm going to open that in here and we will see what we find. Okay, so this is my folder on disk, and this is my project that I just saved now with that asset on it. And I'm just going to drag this onto Notepad, and you may see a lot of stuff in here. You don't want to, bother with it. So I'm just warning you, if you mess something up in here, it is possible to lose your project. So, I mean, I'm advising, don't do this on a live project that you care about. Just do this first on a blank project just to get your asset created. And if I scroll down here in this file, we notice that text in here that I typed. This is on a call out. You see this call out here, the one that's on the timeline. This is a call out, and it's got a lot of instructions here, like the size and the width. We don't care about those things. All we care about is to add a new line in here. So look, this text with percentage R and S, okay, just like I typed. And the thing that makes this instruction here work with the timer, with the time token, is because you need to specify a modifier on this. So now this is not, again, this is not something that's exposed to regular users. So I think TechSmith would discourage this kind of thing. So that's why I showed you the first way to obtain that already made asset. But if you want to get like a hacky kind of thing, let's try and do it here. So we just add a new line in here and we type this. We type quotes and we say modifier, and then outside of the quotes, colon, and then we say time token, exactly like this, and add a comma at the end. So this line, this modifier time token, tells Camtasia to interpret whatever is in the text field through this time token. Okay, so this is basically like a search and replace. If it finds something that starts with a percentage and these tokens inside of these parentheses and they match something valid, then this time token is going to replace that in the text. It's going to leave all the other text alone, so you can actually have more text in there. But as soon as you put this thing with the, the prefix with the percentage sign, it's going to replace that with whatever the syntax tells it. In this case, it's reverse seconds, right? So the reverse R, reverse seconds at rounded seconds. So that's going to actually show you a countdown timer. We don't care about that because as soon as we open this in Camtasia, we can replace that. This modifier is going to stay there for this asset. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just saving this project, and then I don't need Notepad anymore. I'm going back to Camtasia. My project is still open, by the way. So notice it hasn't realized that I've modified it externally, so I can go to the File menu and reload it. Go to Recent Projects, Sample Project 3. Just reload it. Doesn't matter if it's already open. So look, the same project now shows me the number 5 because that time token with R and S interprets what I'm doing. And as it happens, 5 is the rounded second to the second time of the current media, right? So look, if I'm going, this media is 5 seconds long, or 6 now because I've moved it past the 5. But if it's now counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. If you want to count down from 10, doesn't matter. You just zoom out, and it doesn't matter where you move this, by the way, because this R number, the R number here, is actually showing you the total second duration of the media, the object itself, but reversed. So if I want 10 seconds, all I have to do is just make this longer. 10 seconds, there you go. So now my clip is 10 seconds long and it's counting down from 10 because that time token tells Camtasia to display the time left of the current clip. Right? So that's not a problem. So this one is 10 seconds long. If I just copy this and paste it in here on a new track, and I move this one down and I make this shorter, look, I make it shorter like 5 seconds. So you see the same exact one counts down from 5 and from 10, because one of them just gonna run out now. It's 5 seconds, 0, boom, and the other one keeps going. So you get it. This is a basic principle. So now this is the way you can create all the other counters. Okay, so don't forget, they are customizable. So as soon as you go in one of these groups, you know, click on it and you can change the color. You know, I'm just gonna make this one sort of red. It doesn't matter. The counter is still gonna work just fine. But if you want to customize these and put them in your library and save them like generic annotations, you know, just leave them white, I suppose. Put them in your library, and then whenever you need a counter, you just drag the appropriate one and use it, and then you customize it right there for that project. So let me show you. I have my library here. I just got that countdown wheel. I'm just going to use this one and add it. So let's call this one, I'm going to right click and rename the group. So we just call it countdown timer. Okay, countdown timer. This is one, I'm just going to delete this one now. So this one counts down from 5. Again, it doesn't matter how you add it to your library, because you can customize this later. You can just make it longer to count down from something else. So I'm going to click this one, right click, add to library. There you go, in the counters, and click OK. So now I have a countdown timer in my library. I click and create a new project. I'm not going to save it. And now go to library, countdown timer, drag it in here, and boom, you've got it. I've got a 5-second countdown timer. And if you want to customize it, just double click, go inside, make it bold, whatever you want to do. Now, this is one thing. This is one of the counters. So let's have a look at what else we can use to create different counters, right? Different timers. So if I go back to my timeline here, this is the countdown timer, because that's what I added from my library. But now it's on my timeline. I can customize it any way you like. So I have a list of all of the variables you can use and what they mean. The syntax is this one, %, A, B, comma B, right? So don't forget the parentheses. What this means is, you know, % tells Camtasia, hey, there's something coming you need to replace. And then you have the first part, the A, it means what do you want to display, and the second part is how you want to display it. So on the first column you can display the frame time, you know, the current frame time, the media time, which means the current clip that this thing is applied to, the global time, which means the full timeline, the reverse media time, so this is what allows you to do a countdown timer, and a rounded reverse media time, which rounds it to the nearest second, right? So now the second part of this thing, the parameters, is how do you want to display that time. So not all of them are going to look the same, you know, going to work for all of them. But for example, if you want to display the frame times, then you put an FF, which means it's going to display the frame using a padded. So it's going to put, like, if it's a first frame, it's not going to just show 1, it's going to show 0, 1. Okay, so let's play with that, F and FF, right? Frame time, parameter time, and then FF0 padded frames, right? So let's see how that works. So you go back in here and replace this text in here with F to be the frame time, FF padded frames. There you go, 9, frame number 9, right? You look in the timeline here, I'm on frame 9, I'm on second, yeah? So seconds, this is the normal timestamp display. You've got hours, minutes, seconds, and then semicolon, frame, number of frames, right? So you've got a clip that's 30 frames per second, then in between the second 1 and 2, or whichever seconds, you're going to have 30 frames. So look at this. My project now here, if you go to project settings, it says 30 frames, right? So if I play this, it only goes as high as 30, right? So 29 and then 0 again, because every second has 30 frames. You get it. So if my project was like 60 frames, then it would show double. Okay, so this is the frame time, right? So if I want to show the frame time, it just counts up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, but let's say I want to show the minutes, seconds, and the frame, right? So let's look in the slide. We've got the minute time, is the media time, right? So you've got M. That's a media time for the clip, but you can also have global time. So I'm going to use global time because I want to use it anywhere on the timeline. It's going to show me the time at that point in the timeline. So I'm using G, right? But then I want to show the minutes, which is M, and I want to show the or zero padded minutes, which is so I want to show the minute with a 0 in front if it's 1, 2, 3 up to 9. And then I want to show the seconds, which is again 0 padded and it's double S, right? SS. So I want to show G with an for minutes and G with an SS for seconds. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to change. And by the way, you can add any other text in here as long as it's not a variable. It's Camtasia is just going to leave it alone. So I'm going to start with %, open parentheses, and let's say G for the global time, comma, minutes, double M, which is going to be a minute padded with zeros. I'm going to use colon to separate this. Then another one, %, G for time again, G global time, and then comma and double S, which is going to show me padded seconds. Okay, I'm going to use colon again. No, semicolon before the frames. Let's go. So this is what it looks like. You see, I've got the minute, I've got the second, and the frame. Let's play this. So you notice the second is counting and the minute is not yet there because it's not yet 1 minute. But if I make my media longer than a minute and I move the cursor right here, you notice the minute has gone up now. So this one works regardless of where you are on the timeline. It's just going to time and show you exactly in the global timeline where you are. If you want to do this instead with not the global time but with the media time, then all you have to do is just replace M instead of G, and then it's going to show you the media time. The media time refers to the clip that this effect is applied to, or this variable, right? In this case, if I am now in the minute 7:18, right? This is because this is the global timeline. But if I move this, look, the time changes because it's not relative to the media. So that's when I would like to make it for the media time. You just put M instead of G. So I'm going to put these on screen and you can write them down and you can use them and create your own counters, right? So this is the way to do any of these. You just look at this list here and you decide what do you want to display? What do you want your counter to display? You can have total minutes, for example, right? So if you have a clip, you have a very long clip maybe, and you want to give someone access to the clip, but you want to render it and you want to have a timestamp on it so they can refer to different portions of it, right? Or, go to minute 5, 25, and 30 seconds or whatever, and make a change to whatever. Then if they don't have a counter, they need to look in the player and all that stuff. But you can actually imprint time counters on top of your media, right? So this is the way to do this. Now, it does require a little hacking when you start to get it done. But once you've done it and you saved all these things, so for example, now I have this global time asset in here. I'm going to make it shorter though. And now I've got one with minutes, second, and frames. If I want to add it to my library, I'm just going to rename this, or you can say add to library, and you can change the name right here. And let's call this global minutes, seconds, and frames, right? So this is the counter that counts minutes, seconds, and frames. You can choose whether to show the canvas size, so it's going to save it with the full canvas size, or you can use it for the visible size, which is going to be, at the moment, because it's a group, it's still going to be the same size, but you can customize that. So use canvas size, click OK. And now I have a timer. So basically, when you're done, you create a new project. You don't have to do this again. You just create the counters you may want, drag them to your project, and so on. And just to illustrate the other thing I said about making anything else that's not a variable in this field can be customized. If I don't want to use the colon to separate the numbers, maybe I want to do a slash or something. Let's go. You delete that one and you put a slash in there, press enter, and there you go. That still works. And separate that in the with a slash for the frame as well, double slash. So there you go. The counters still work. It just shows you something else. If you want to put text, so I'm going to put minutes, colon, seconds, there you go. It still works. And if you go inside of this group, you want to change the size of this, just expand it like that. And there you go. It's now saying minutes and seconds. Play. That still works. The counter still works because the variable are in there and they do their job. So I hope this makes sense. You let me know if you have any questions in the description. This seems simple enough to do, and it's a little bit of work at the beginning, but then once you get the hang of it, you have this table of variables you can use. You can put them right in there, and you no longer have to record the online counters and put them in there like video clips and kind of resize them all over the place. You have these reusable assets which you can then reuse in any of your projects. So I hope this tutorial was useful. It's a little hacky, okay? So I'm just saying again, warning: don't mess with this with a live project that you care about. Just play with it in a blank project and see if it works for you. Don't forget that modifier. You put it in the source code, or you download the free asset from Camtasia to start with, and then use this table of variables to replace them in there. So I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to subscribe it. If you find this video useful, I would appreciate if you liked the video and maybe share it with other friends who are using Camtasia. And if you haven't yet upgraded to Camtasia 2021, there is a link in the description. If you're considering upgrading, click that link before you upgrade, and that is an affiliate link. It would help support my channel at no extra cost to you. Thanks again for your time, and let me know in the comments if you have any other video ideas for Camtasia, if you would like me to cover any feature you may be struggling with, or if you have questions, I'm happy to answer. And yeah, see you next time.